Insanely delicious, rich, creamy and divine Gulab Jamun cheesecake. Hands down, this is the best cheesecake I have ever made, and this will turn into a show-stopping dessert for any occasion. Hey everyone, this is Tans and welcome to my channel. I hope everybody is doing great. I'm super thrilled for this video. I'm gonna share an insanely delicious dessert with you guys. So it's going to be Gulab Jamun cheesecake. Gulab Jamun is a popular dessert in India, so it's basically fried dumplings soaked in sugar rose syrup. So how about we combine Gulab Jamuns and cheesecake, so it will be a perfect fusion dessert. For making this, first I'll be making Gulab Jamuns from scratch. It's super easy to make with just 4 ingredients, and after that we have to make the cheesecake filling. So I'll be sharing 2 versions with you guys, Gulab Jamun cheesecake and Gulab Jamun cheesecake in mason jars. So I'll be using my instant pot for making it. So guys, let's get started. First, let's make Gulab Jamun from scratch. It's super easy guys, with just 4 ingredients. So the main ingredient we need is khoya or mawa. It's actually solidified milk. So this is available at the Indian store. So this was frozen, so I thawed it well. So keep it on the countertop for a few hours, thaw it well, and let's grate this. So we need 1 cup grated khoya. So here I've taken 1 cup grated khoya, so add it to a bowl. So we'll be able to make around 12 gulab jamuns with 1 cup grated khoya. So next I'm going to add around 3 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. Using your clean hand, combine it well. So if there are any lumps, break it using your finger. So next we are going to make this into a dough. So for that I'm going to add milk around 3 tablespoons. So just enough milk to make into a smooth dough. So you can also add water instead of milk. It's coming along good, so knead it for a couple of minutes, that's it. Don't have to over knead this dough. So this is perfect. Next, let's make small balls out of this dough. So I'm going to grease my pan with ghee or clarified butter. So just add a little bit of ghee on your pan and spread it well. Take some dough and roll it between the palm of your hands. Roll it into smooth round shape without any cracks on the surface. So this is perfect. So let's keep this aside. Here are the balls that I've made. Next, let's deep fry these in oil. I have placed a frying pan over medium heat, added some oil. Oil has turned hot. So let's drop like 4 to 5 dough balls into the oil and make sure the heat is not too high. So it has to be medium. If the heat is too high, inside will not be cooked and the outside will turn brown very fast. So using a spoon, just flip over the balls and deep fry them till they turn brown in color. So it will happen really fast, so please keep an eye on these. Look at this, it has turned deep brown in color. So using a slotted spoon, I'm taking it out of the oil and let's transfer to a plate aligned with the kitchen paper towel. So keep this aside. Next, let's make a simple sugar syrup. Place a saucepan over medium heat, adding 1 cup water. Next, let's add 1/2 cup white sugar. I don't want the sugar syrup to be very sweet, that's why I'm only adding 1/2 cup sugar. If you prefer, you can add 1 cup sugar. So 1 cup water and 1 cup sugar. Adding around 10 strands of saffron. So this is a must add. It will greatly enhance the aroma and flavor of the sugar syrup. So next, let's add 1 whole cardamom crushed. So I love to add whole cardamom rather than ground cardamom. Another key ingredient, rose water. So just add 1 teaspoon rose water. I have placed the pan over medium heat, so let the water come to a slight boil. After that, let's simmer it over low heat for 10 minutes. Remove the pan from the heat, so let this cool down for a few minutes. Add 5 to 6 dumplings to the rose sugar syrup. So only when it's soaked in the syrup, it will be Gulab Jamun. So I'll be using these to top the cheesecake. I'm going to keep this in the refrigerator, so let this chill. So we'll take this out only after making the cheesecake. Next, let's make the crust for the cheesecake. So I'm taking wafers. You can also use graham crackers or even digestive biscuits. So add the wafers or crackers to a food processor and let's make into crumbs. So we need around 3 cups of crumbs. So grind the crackers coarsely till they form crumbs. Here are the crumbs. So next let's add around 6 tablespoons melted butter. So you have to add melted butter and pulse it a few times. So the crumbs are evenly coated with melted butter. So this is perfect. So now let's make the crust for the cheesecake. I have taken 7-inch springform pan. So springform pan is ideal for making cheesecake. We can separate the bottom and the sides. You can take 7 to 8-inch springform pan. So let's spread the crumbs on the pan. Using a spatula, firmly press the crumbs down, or you can even use a bowl and press it down. Next, we have to bake the crust. So I'm using my Instant Pot Duo Crisp and air fryer. It has the bake feature. So if you don't have an Instant Pot, you can bake it in the oven. So I'm placing the trivet into the stainless steel pot. So this is 8 quarts, and then let's place the pan onto the trivet. If you're using Instant Pot Duo Crisp and air fryer, you have to close with the air fryer lid. So next, let's select bake feature. I'm going to set the temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and the time should be 10 minutes. Then click start. So if you're baking in the oven, you have to do the same 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. The 10 minutes of baking, let's open the lid. So the crust has set well, it has baked perfectly. Let's take the pan out of the Instant Pot and keep it aside, so let it cool down. Next, let's make the cheesecake filling. So to a stand mixer with paddle attachment, or you can use an electric hand mixer, I'm going to add 1 cup, so that's like 8 ounce cream cheese. Please ensure the cream cheese is at room temperature. In fact, all the ingredients for making the cheesecake filling have to be at room temperature. So take it out of the refrigerator and keep it on the countertop for an hour. Adding 3/4 cup granulated white sugar. Let's beat this until the cream cheese and sugar turns creamy and smooth for about 5 minutes at high speed. Halfway through, using a silicone spatula, scrape down the sides of the bowl, so this will ensure even mixing. Again, beat for a couple of minutes. Next, let's add all the other ingredients. So 1 cup sour cream. Next, adding 1 cup heavy whipping cream. So the cream, sour cream and cream cheese have to be at room temperature. So here is the heavy whipping cream that I've added. Next, let's add 1/4 cup corn starch. So this is not corn flour, this is corn starch. Adding my favorite spice, saffron. So this is a must add, please don't skip this. So adding like 20 strands of saffron. So this is Caravan brand saffron, available on Amazon. I can add the link on the description if you would like to buy it. 1/2 teaspoon ground cardamom. Yet another key ingredient that has to be added is rose water, 1 teaspoon. So don't have to add a lot of rose water, just 1 teaspoon. So saffron, ground cardamom and rose water. Please don't skip adding these. These will greatly enhance the taste and aroma of this cheesecake. Alright, so we have added all the ingredients. So let's beat this at medium speed for 3 to 4 minutes until everything has combined well. So do not overbeat the batter. Halfway through, scrape down the sides of the bowl and the paddle attachment. So this is for even mixing, otherwise everything will be stuck to the sides and the bottom of the bowl. So beat it for a minute and that's it. Our cheesecake batter is ready. So please do not overbeat the batter. Let's assemble everything. So we have the baked crust ready here and the fried dumplings. So these dumplings, I have not soaked them in rose sugar syrup. That's not required. Now if you prefer, you can soak them in sugar syrup. So that will be gulab jamuns, and top it over the crust. It will be very sweet. So that's why I did not soak them in the sugar syrup. Next, let's pour the cheesecake filling over the fried dumplings. Gently tap the pan to remove any air bubbles. Using a spatula, smoothen the surface. Next, I'm going to wrap the bottom of the pan with aluminum foil. So while baking, if there is any dripping, it will be caught in the foil. I'm going to bake this in my Instant Pot Duo Crisp and Air Fryer. It has the bake feature. So I've placed the trivet into the pot, adding 1 cup water. So even though we are baking, we have to add water. So this will act like a water bath, and place the pan on the trivet. Since we are going to bake this, don't have to cover with aluminum foil. So let's close the pot with the air fryer lid. So don't close with the Instant Pot lid. It has to be air fryer lid. So on the Instant Pot Duo Crisp Air Fryer, select Bake. Let's set the temperature to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and the time should be 45 minutes. So we have to bake for 45 minutes in the Instant Pot. If you don't have an Instant Pot, don't worry, you can bake this in the oven. So preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. Fill a baking tray with hot water around 2 inches and place the springform pan on it and bake for 45 to 50 minutes or until the center of the cheesecake has cooked perfectly. After 45 minutes of baking in the Instant Pot, let's open the lid. So here's how the cheesecake looks like. It has a nice beautiful golden color on the top. It's not that crusty, it's just it got that color since we baked it in the Instant Pot. It's a compact baking pot, right? So I'm going to insert a toothpick into the center of the cheesecake. So if it comes out clean, it has baked perfectly. So this is perfect. So let it cool down for a few minutes and then we have to keep this in the refrigerator for a few hours until it has set well. We have to keep the cheesecake in the refrigerator for at least 4 to 5 hours. That's when it will be set beautifully, or you can keep it overnight. So overnight will be ideal. Kept the cheesecake in the refrigerator overnight, so I just took it out. So let's remove the side of the springform pan. So it has set beautifully and chilled perfectly. Look at this beauty, looks stunning. Just before serving, let's add some toppings. So I'm going to add some crushed pistachios over the Gulab Jamun cheesecake. Next, let's top with Gulab Jamuns. I was waiting for this moment. So these Gulab Jamuns are soaked in rose sugar syrup and I kept it in the refrigerator for a few hours so it's chilled well. For any special occasions or any parties, if you place Gulab Jamuns on top of the cheesecake, it will look even more stunning. So I would say go ahead and top with Gulab Jamun. Also drizzle some rose sugar syrup over it. I'm also taking the saffron out of the sugar syrup and placing it on top of the Gulab Jamun. When it's time for serving, let's cut into wedges. If you have kept the cheesecake in the refrigerator overnight, it will be a bit hard. So let it rest at room temperature for a few minutes and then cut into wedges. Now let's top this with Gulab Jamun. So look at this. So I'm also going to drizzle some sugar syrup. This is definitely a show-stopping dessert, tasted insanely delicious, so rich, divine and elegant. You can make this well in advance and store it in the refrigerator for 5 days, or you can keep the wedges in the freezer for up to 3 months. Now I guarantee that you will not have any leftovers. It's that delicious. So if you have any leftovers, you can either store in the refrigerator or in the freezer. If you don't want to make the whole cheesecake, we can make the Gulab Jamun cheesecake in a mason jar. These are perfectly portioned, great for parties. I'm going to show you guys how to make Gulab Jamun cheesecake in mason jars. So have everything ready. So I have these mini mason jars. Going to add like 2 tablespoons of the crumbs that's mixed with melted butter. Top the crust with 2 to 3 tablespoons of the cheesecake filling. Now the best part, place the dumpling into the cheesecake filling. If you prefer, you can even place gulab jamuns that are soaked in the rose sugar syrup. So these are not soaked in the sugar syrup. So tightly close the mason jars with aluminum foil. I'm going to pressure cook in the instant pot, so adding 1.5 cups water to the stainless steel pot. And let's place the trivet and then place the mason jars on the trivet. We are going to pressure cook this, so we have to cover the mason jar with aluminum foil, otherwise water will get into the cheesecake. Close the Instant Pot with the lid. I'm using Instant Pot Duo Crisp and Air Fryer, so any kind of Instant Pot model can be used. So select pressure cook, pressure should be high, and let's set the time to 15 minutes and click start. So we only have to pressure cook this for 15 minutes and make sure the lid is closed tightly. After 15 minutes of pressure cooking, let the pressure release naturally. So that's going to take like 15 minutes. So it's been almost 15 minutes. So there is only a very little pressure. So I'm doing a quick pressure release. And let's open the lid. It's very hot, so wear a mitten and take the mason jars out of the Instant Pot. Let's remove the aluminum foil. So look at this, this has pressure cooked perfectly. Let this cool down for a few minutes and then let's place this in the refrigerator and let this chill and set well for a few hours. Before serving, garnish with some crushed pistachios. I'm also going to drizzle some sugar rose syrup, so that will make this cheesecake taste even more delicious. Just dig in and enjoy. So this is melt in your mouth, absolutely divine Gulab Jamun cheesecake in a mason jar. Here is the insanely delicious, rich, decadent and elegant Gulab Jamun cheesecake that's cooked in the Instant Pot. So this will be definitely a show-stopping dessert for any occasion. So guys, do give this recipe a try and let me know your feedback. So I do have the written recipe on my blog. I'll post the link in the description below, so check that out. So if you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do subscribe. I'll be back with more cooking videos. Until then, happy cooking, take care and bye.